Because here's the thing. We've interviewed almost 3,000 girls on this show. And every single time we bring only
they've been at this for 30 minutes.
Money, they're thirsty for subscribers, they're thirsty for certain types of people. That's why, like, sometimes I'm just like, yo, like, we want to limit the OnlyFans girls that come on here because we know how you guys are. You guys are clout chasers, man. That's what you guys do. Shout out to Aiden. Aiden's taking a percentage off these bitches. And that's how we should do it. Because
wait, he is?
Yeah.
20%,
yeah.
I believe.
We should do it too, but we ain't going to do that.
Wait, who is he taking money from?
Any OF girl that wants to come on.
Dude, it's amazing that society is waking up to the fact that these OnlyFans girls are complete whores and just degenerate for everything. They are embodiments of left-wing incoherence, and the reason is because this left-wing ideology is permeated by the resentment of Marxism. It's the exact same hatred that feminists have for reality. They lie to women like this, telling them that it's somehow noble and respectable to sell pictures of your butthole for $5.99 on the internet. So what you're witnessing is an embodiment of Marxist degeneracy. Argue that people respect her for doing OnlyFans. Leftists invert truth. They invert reality. So they'll tell you that right is wrong, up is down. Everyone knows that a woman's value is heavily tied to her purity, to her chastity, to the fact that she's not damaged by society and relationships. So what do the leftists do because they invert truth? They say they glorify and glamorize degenerate behavior for young impressionable women who already have an incentive to distance themselves from objective reality. And the reason for that is they're told to demonize masculinity, which is the only real apparatus for them to make sense of the world. Because women by themselves don't understand what's happening in the world, because they're not thinking logically or rationally. That's why it's very easy for the left to corrupt them and convince them that there's no such thing as objective truth.
Thing in you that obviously gave a response for the polygraph.
I disagree. I just don't think it was true. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not about disagreeing. That's a fact. That's the reason why it alerted.
I disagree with you.
I'm honestly curious.
Did you hear that? He stated a fact, and she said, I disagree. And then he said, it doesn't matter if you disagree because it's a fact, and facts have nothing to do with opinion. And then what did she say? She said again, I disagree. These people, their brains are broken and ruined. Dude, for the 8 seconds I unpaused the video and unmuted it, we heard the most degenerate statement of all time. It's absolutely insane. Marxism preys on impressionable women that hate reality and have been indoctrinated into resenting the patriarchy. Resentment is killing multiple generations, ruining their lives, completely obliterating their futures. Countless young women from my generation are looking up to. They're transfixed by women who are practicing degeneracy, and as a result will hate masculinity for their entire lives, will hate objective reality for their entire lives, won't know how to take accountability for anything wrong that they do, which they're constantly doing wrong things, so their lives will just get more and more destroyed. They'll never get married because they hate men. They won't have kids. And you know what? If you have a background in psychology, you would know this, but the saddest people in the world, the most destroyed, the people that are lacking the most amount of meaning in their lives are women that are single and childless. They're the most miserable people on the planet. And that's what Marxism is doing. It's doing it through feminism, convincing young women to hate reality, and you're seeing it here. It's insane. Look, OnlyFans girls have had this coming for a very, very long time. Society has recognized them as degenerate, but it's now becoming widely acceptable to. And I say acceptable. It was always acceptable to me, but more and more of culture is starting to think that it's acceptable to mock them for their degeneracy. And that's very important because the left is degenerate. It's actually defined by degeneracy. That's why you see clips of these insane people. That's why you see clips of these insane socialists like Hassan saying they moved to America because they loved moral degeneracy. It's insane.
Let's say this is all true and you love him. And on some level, there's some sincerity here. What's the goal?
It's hilarious because she's going to leave him in a matter of weeks or months, and it's going to be obvious that she was a whore. That's the reason why it's super, super hilarious that she would go on this show. It shows how incapable of thinking she is. She thinks that she's arrogant and narcissistic enough to think that people that can actually engage with reality and engage with reason because they're not transfixed by the left-wing degeneracy and the left-wing ideology, that those people won't be able to see through her. It makes people into fools. It makes people into arrogant, narcissistic fools who brazenly wear their ignorance and mentally destroyed states on their sleeve. Everyone can see it. Everyone can see that she's a degenerate woman, and she's still engaging in these degenerate activities and these degenerate statements that make no sense, that contradict reality, that do nothing but embarrass her. But she's narcissistic enough to not care. And the reason why that's important to understand is because the left is the mechanism that facilitates that. It's the only reason why that's possible. People normally don't go and embarrass themselves in front of tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. Probably by the end of this, millions of people will view her as a whore, as a degenerate. Most people wouldn't do that, but the reason why she could put herself in that situation is because of the left-wing mind virus telling her, no, you're a boss queen for selling your ass for $5.99. It's madness. And she also had the delusion. I was going to say gall, but it's more like just complete delusion because she's not brave. She had the delusion to say that young women look up to her and that she's respected. That's how you know they're delusional. These people are mentally ravaged. They're mentally ravaged by resentment.
Goal with Neon so far, you think? What's the goal?
I think that we've been talking for a month, right? As of right now. And
this guy's obviously a child. He doesn't know anything about the world. He hasn't gone through difficulty. He's barely mentally mature enough to hold eye contact and have a conversation. I seem to remember him completely losing his mind when Andrew Tate was doing that Twitch circuit where he was talking to those degenerate Twitch people, and he just like melted down. He since then apologized to Andrew Tate, which is the reason why Andrew invited him to better himself. But he's not even mentally mature enough, so she's essentially abusing a child. And this is the reason why masculinity is important. Because Neon is common. There are a lot of young guys that are just as lost as him. They have no idea what's going on. The only thing that sets him apart is he has an audience. But there are a lot of men just like him that don't have an audience. And they're getting wrecked. They're getting destroyed. They're scrolling endlessly on TikTok or Instagram, thinking that these degenerate women are desirable. Meanwhile, they're having masculinity demonized around them constantly. And they're experiencing cognitive dissonance. It's very sad.
anything that we choose to do in the next couple of weeks or days is up to us completely, and that it changes every day. We never know what we're going to do tomorrow.
So she's setting the stage for her to leave him because she knows that she's going to eventually leave him, and she doesn't want people to call her a whore, because that will be proof that she is, just trying to, harvest his audience for subscriptions. And it's very sad because everyone can see through her. What you're seeing, though, is the leftist degeneracy.
So it's like, it really just word of ear. Like, I would be here no matter what, and it doesn't matter what we do.
So you want this to work, and you want it to do whatever it takes.
I'll do whatever. I will be by his side regardless if I'm on camera or not. What?
Even with like other girls on stream, would you still stay by his side?
If he's flirting with other girls, it's just gonna really like hurt my feelings and
it's just content. Like your OnlyFans is just
no,
content.
fuck
too.
all that. Do you think you deserve monogamy?
What does that
yes.
One person
At a
one
time.
person.
One person.
Like no cheating, no.
I want multiple wives.
He wants an open relationship. That's what he says to people. So
Okay. Do you think you deserve monogamy?
I truly believe that one day I will have monogamy. Yeah.
You can't make this up, dude. Literal whores pretending as though they deserve monogamy. This is the West, dude. Is the United States falling? Are we collapsing? This is insane.
But do you think you deserve it?
She's literally a whore. She's literally a whore, and she thinks she deserves monogamy, and she says that she's respected. It's mind-boggling.
Yes.
Do you think
What you're witnessing is crystallized delusion by the radical left. And I will say that the left hates this. It's not like they endorse this. They're actually embarrassed by this. That's why they're infuriated by the mere existence of the Fresh and Fit podcast, because they know that people can look at them and judge them for the immoral frauds that they are.
you deserve it from a guy that has status or money?
I think I deserve it from somebody who truly loves me no matter what.
See, she couldn't handle the premise. Women aren't capable of engaging with logic or reason when being confronted with accountability. They automatically shy away from it. Very, very few women will ever overcome this. And if they overcome it, it's only because they have extremely competent fathers. And that's also a tactic of degenerate femininity. She's looking at him as if her statement means anything. That's not what he asked you, you dumb whore. They can't see reality for what it is. It's like the Truman Show. We're living in the Truman Show. A segment of the population is suffering from a mental virus. This mental virus is called leftism. It prevents people from thinking or realizing what's going on around them. Feminism is a mental disability. Can't engage with reality, can't use logic, unable to answer questions, saying the opposite of the truth. These people are mentally destroyed.
You didn't even want to do that, though.
What?
You didn't even want to do that.
Gotcha, bitch!
She's getting repeatedly beat up. and she isn't able to speak the language that allows her to make sense of the world or defend herself. So she's going to get, what, an hour or like almost an hour in? She's getting destroyed for an hour straight in front of ultimately millions of people. Wow.
I disagree. I think
You just said it earlier.
Yeah, I didn't want to work the 3 minimum wage jobs, but I would.
So you would get with a guy that decided to not take the easy way out and work those minimum wage jobs?
Yes.
You would.
He doesn't work 3 minimum wage jobs, and I
know.
wouldn't if anybody else. Like, your
But he has more
questions are
status than you do,
so
though.
like I genuinely want to know what you're trying to get at me. Because you want to know like what I like in a guy. Like, you can ask me what my type is. You can ask me
Man, a gaslighting.
what I would like, what my boundaries are with like I
Degenerate women are broken. They're not fit to be married. They're not fit to be girlfriends. They're not fit to be committed to in any way. They are literally damaged.
just confused
I'm so glad everyone's seeing her as the disgusting degenerate that she is.
on what you're in. Like,
Because that's what the left can't stand, is you seeing them as the degenerates that they are.
Well, when I,
no, but you're saying like because of what I do, because I do OnlyFans, I don't deserve love. I don't deserve monogamy. Like
You don't. And you're not going to get it. You're not going to get a guy to commit to you that you are attracted to, because women are hypergamous. And no guy of high value, of high status, is going to commit to a whore, because that's not what men do.
telling me like basically I'm gonna be alone forever. No one's ever gonna love me because I do OnlyFans.
That's not what he said.
never said that. Never said you're a bad person. What
I'm
I am
gonna end
saying,
up with somebody who's the same as me, right?
what I am saying is that since you decided to go into a certain profession and do
No, fuck that. She is a bad person. She's a degenerate. Women that choose to sell their bodies are degenerates.
certain things, you no longer qualify for certain caliber of men. Simple.
I just disagree with you.
Doesn't matter what your opinion is. The data is very clear. Men don't like whores. Men don't like promiscuous women. They prefer chastity, purity, and femininity, undamaged femininity. She's very masculine. You can tell.
A girl that's on OnlyFans. That
You think I'm gonna do OnlyFans until I'm like a mom or something?
it
A mom? Oh, she's planning to have kids? That's so brutal. I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be bad for the kids, but I can't wait for society to cope with like kids getting bullied by, other kids showing them pictures of their moms doing OnlyFans. It's absolutely brutal for the kids, but that's coming, and that's going to cause a massive ripple effect of women getting outraged at being held accountable yet again. It constantly happens to not only leftists. They're reminded all the time that they're wrong. I mean, they practically walk around in reality, see a man taller than a woman, or see that men are stronger than women and get triggered. But feminists also walk around reality and walk around in society and constantly get triggered and angry when they're held accountable for their bad choices. Oh my God, you mean he won't commit to me because I slept with 56 men by the age of 24? Oh, he must have small dick energy. And then they're single, 45, alone, and sad with cats, while young 22-year-olds who are actually feminine and good girls get wifed up. Degenerate women are constantly at war with accountability. When was the last time you heard a degenerate woman, or even a woman in general for that matter, say, I was wrong? Think about that. Think about that.
well, you might not get that far. But what I'm trying to say is that when a woman is involved in sex work, that's the functional equivalent to a guy that's like a hobo.
I just disagree.
That's the
It doesn't matter what you think. It's like saying I disagree that 2 + 2 is 4, or it's like saying I disagree with gravity. Your opinion is irrelevant. He's telling you what men on average prefer.
just like a woman wouldn't
Disagree.
get. No, hold on.
You're
hold on.
saying I'm the male version of a hobo? Like, what are you trying?
Correct. You've thrown away your value. You are despicable. You're a degenerate, and you're not desirable by any men.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only men that you're even desirable by, they're just lusting after you, and they're low value freaks that you would never take seriously because women are hypergamous. No high value guy would take this woman seriously.
Yeah, you are.
Neon, come on.
Yeah.
I don't like OnlyFans shit.
Look. Like, if a homeless guy came up to you and he was all smelly and etc., would you give him a chance? Probably not. Like, dude, you don't got your shit together. I'm good. For women that are involved in sex work, it's the same shit. Like,
It's actually worse than that, because a man can theoretically get out of that situation. A woman can never undo the past. If you're a degenerate whore, that sticks with you forever. It doesn't even matter what you do. You can't lower your body count. You can't undo the trauma that you've been through.
we might smash them, but we're not going to take them seriously for a relationship.
It's fun.
Why would we try to undo the trauma when we could just date a 22-year-old girl that has like a body count of 2 or 3 and she's feminine and submissive and beautiful? Like, why would men do that? They're not going to do that. It's not our responsibility to fix the mistakes of these women. These women ruin their lives and and deny reality while they're doing it, and then expect a get out of jail free card when they're whores and they're 34 and they're like 45 and they're like, oh my gosh, why aren't the men lining up to marry me? Because you made all the wrong choices while you were being told that you were making all the wrong choices. You dumb.
No, I
Disgusting
think
profile.
generally,
That's
right?
truth.
You could love him.
Terrible.
You took the easy way out to live on the street. You took the easy way out and sold your body.
Disagree.
Now, you can tell that she's unable to cope with what's going on around her, and she's unable to cope with the ability to connect with objective reality because she's identified in her mind the only way that she's experienced a reprieve from the negative emotion that comes from being exposed and held accountable is by saying the words, I disagree. It doesn't matter that those words make no sense. I'm giving you a glimpse into the female mind right now. It doesn't matter that those words make no sense and hold no bearing or relationship to any aspect of reality. All that matters is that it is a momentary reprieve from the negative emotion she feels from being held accountable. Women are not built to engage with the objective world. She's been getting like completely destroyed for an hour at this point. Women are not built to engage with the world.
It's a fact.
No.
It's not.
Can people not
You're
subscribe to
telling me
OnlyFans
I'm
right
the
now?
same as every single fucking girl, and I'm.
And notice how she just reverts to the old tactic of saying the opposite of reality. He says a fact, it is objectively true, and then she says it's not a fact. She doesn't even say why it's not a fact. She doesn't say why what he said is wrong. She just says that it's wrong. Women aren't able to engage with reality, and this, you may argue that, she's been trying to defend herself for an hour at this point, and so she's she's worn out and she can't explain. No, this has been happening the entire time. And I just explained to you why these female answers make no sense. They're not interested in truth. They're not interested in objective frameworks or facts like men are. They're not interested in really understanding why things make sense or why things don't make sense, especially when they're a degenerate woman. All they care about is how something makes them feel. And being held accountable for their wrong choices makes them feel empty and aimless and sad and helpless, because they don't have the apparatus of fixing themselves, which is a man to take care of them. But the sad part is because she chose to be a degenerate, no quality man will commit to her at this point. And it doesn't even matter what you feel about what I'm saying, because it's the truth. Men do not wife up whores.
I was trying to raise him up in public in front of me. You
Great.
think that's okay?
Absolutely.
He's a virgin.
But and I'm not allowed to do that.
Why would
at
you?
all.
Why would she be allowed to do that? Your value is down here and his value is up here. And men and women aren't the same anyway.
You said you love him, right? Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, why?
He said he loves me. Why would he want to do that?
Because men and
It's
women aren't the
content.
same. No. Fuck the content. Men and women aren't the same. And you're on OnlyFans, so that means you have no leverage here.
That's
You can't
just
tell him
so
shit.
false.
She's triggered at reality. It's amazing to see her bullied this entire time because, and look, I'm not here to advocate for bullying people. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is it's amazing to see radical feminism come into contact with objective truth. That's how people see that they're frauds. That's how people are looking at her and thinking, wow, she looks so stupid right here. She's trying to argue people respect her. Wow.
What do you
Bro.
mean?
Did you even ask him if he wanted lemonade?
What?
Like, do you even care about him?
Ask him about lemonade.
Dude, like, these are personable things that you don't care about.
Lemonade.
Like, off camera. Yeah, he drinks fucking lemonade. You didn't even know.
What the fuck? See, her brain's disintegrating. This is actually glorious. All right, let's pay attention.
And that shit anyway.
Okay, I'm not going to try and control him. If I tried to control him, you try and say this bullshit
Yeah,
too.
see, women do, bro. What are you doing? Like,
Her brain can't make sense of the world. Okay, that right there is an amazing. This is the face of a woman that knows she's coming into contact with an immovable object. Unapologetic masculinity and adherence to the truth. Women can't overcome that, no matter how hard they try. The only tools in their toolbox are demonization and emotional manipulation and tears. They have no ability to combat men adhering to the truth. Nothing. That's the reason why you see these pathetic music videos of like these women that they're making songs about how men need to shut up and be quiet or whatever, or these radical feminists saying men shouldn't be allowed to have podcasts. It's because they can't contend with the truth. It's because they can't overcome the accountability that is embodied in unapologetic masculinity, because men care about the truth. Men have to adhere to the truth. These women that are degenerates basically swore an oath to deny reality at every turn and pay the price.
What does this mean for you? Because obviously you can see he does have a concern about OnlyFans. So if he asks you, listen, Sam, I messed with you a lot. You're really cool. Would you start OnlyFans?
This is the real question. This is the question to see if she cares more about farming degenerate young men that are lost into her OnlyFans funnel of hell, or if she actually cares about him and will quit OnlyFans.
That's for him. Be honest.
Yeah, I would.
Wait, seriously?
stop the cap.
Really?
I would. There's no reason I should be doing it for
Deactivate
like
your
longer
account right
than
now
2 to 3
on air.
years.
On air. Let's do it.
Deactivate your account right now on air.
No, it's not worth it for me right now.
See? Boom. She's a liar. She's a degenerate liar.
Deactivate it
Do you
right
want me
now.
to?
Yeah.
Do you want me to delete my
Oh
OnlyFans?
my gosh.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah?
Would you?
Right now on air.
She ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, she ain't gonna do it,
She
man.
won't do it.
You want me to do it right now?
Don't
She's
do
staring
it.
at me weird. I can't.
Oh man.
Oh, what a pathetic beta. See, a strong, she knows that she's already traded up in terms of value to a massive extent. She knows that she doesn't deserve a high quality man. But he, because he's a child, doesn't have the balls to look at her in the eyes and say, do it, bitch. And if he did do that, she would do it right now because she knows that she needs to do anything that he says in order to keep him because she's trading up immensely.
See, you know
I'm
how
just
you work.
asking.
And in her, I'm going to tell you the way women think. In her eyes right now, she's begging him, be the leader that I need to save me because she's living in hell.
Asking you,
And
what do you
obviously,
want?
yeah. I would want. Yeah, I would want you to.
You know
What
what
do
I
you
want?
want? Fucking balls.
Shut up, Indian. Listen.
He's not being a bitch. He's answering for himself for once.
no,
He's
no,
not
no, you have
talking.
to put him more now.
Deep down,
Okay.
you don't want her on OnlyFans.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Well,
You
tell
don't.
her.
No, tell her.
Tell her.
Look her.
Tell
Look at
her.
and tell her.
I can't take him
I don't talk
seriously.
to
You
girls.
guys have to
I can't do the eye
stop.
contacting.
Bro,
I don't.
See? He just said, I can't make eye contact. Bro, this guy's a child.
you tell her, I don't like this shit.
I don't
It's
like this shit.
unacceptable.
Well, I don't like how you try and flirt with other women.
Who cares what you think?
Yeah, who cares?
It's
Exactly.
unacceptable. It's unacceptable for you to be on OnlyFans, and I don't like this.
I've told her that. I've told her that before.
Hey, we'll do it again.
I don't like it.
Okay.
This is terrible.
Bro, you got to be able to speak in the active voice, not in the passive voice. I don't like this. You need to stop, or you're single.
Okay, if you want to keep talking about this, that's on you. But the thing is, you have to understand. You don't even fucking care when
I'm
I
listening.
speak,
I'm
regardless. Like
listening
you're
to
not
you.
even looking at me. You're just doing other shit. Like
I'm listening. Go ahead.
We got you.
Yeah,
I got my
I'm listening.
pen and paper ready.
At least.
Go ahead.
You got it, Sam.
Go ahead.
I really don't like how you talk to me. It's very disrespectful, by the way. All I have been.
No one cares what you think or feel.
You're
As
deflecting.
soon as this is a precondition to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
As soon as I walked into your office here, you're fucking scribbling. You literally are not writing anything down.
Oh, he is.
Whatsoever.
Oh, he is. It's ironic.
Continue,
Sucks.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Can I finish my point now? All right. Number one, I never said you're a bad person. You just made really bad decisions. Number two, once you make certain bad decisions, you don't deserve certain benefits and qualification. You're not qualified
That's how the world works. That's literally what accountability means.
for certain types of people. And the thing is that since you made these decisions, you got to deal with the consequences of them. And what it is that you really don't have leverage to tell men what they should or shouldn't do. And here's the other thing too, that women tend to not understand. A woman's background and her past absolutely can fuck a man's future up. Look at Logan Paul. Getting run through the rigor right now because his girl decided to make some bad decisions in the past that's coming to hurt him 10 years later.
She's a whore.
Based.
So whether you want to accept it or not, everything that you do affects him. So the decisions that you make, being on OnlyFans, being labeled as a sex worker, monetize.
The sad part is she was actually willing to get off OnlyFans if he was just man enough to look at her and say, delete it. Delete it right now. I know she would have done it, bro. I know she would have done it.
Your sexuality, etc.
These women will bend to your masculine will if you are unapologetic enough.
That's not good for him.
Okay. Once again, you sound like a broken record. The first 5 sentences you just said, you said to me less than a minute ago. You're saying I don't have leverage. You're not saying I'm not a good person. You just don't like
Truth
what
is,
I...
she can't engage with ideas. She literally can't engage with ideas. She can't confront a single thing he said because if she confronted what he said, she'd have to do it. She'd have to employ a mechanism which is foreign and unacceptable to her ideology. It's almost like she's possessed by a virus, and to engage with what he said would be like taking the antidote to the virus.
Do you have any other vocabulary or anything else you want to say to me?
I mean, a fact is a fact. Whether I tell you.
I disagree with your fact, sir.
Okay, so women that sexualize themselves are not lower value?
Why is that such a bad thing?
They are. No, I think
Can't answer the question.
They
again.
are.
I think being sexy is a good thing for women. Like,
So
Yeah.
It is not sexy to sell your ass for $3.99 a month.
But sexualizing yourself.
What's crazy is women will sit here and try to argue with what men find attractive, whereas men will never do this. You'll never find a man trying to argue with a woman to say you shouldn't find tall guys attractive, or you shouldn't find assertive guys attractive, or you shouldn't find ambitious men attractive. Men will never sit there and argue with women about what they find attractive, but women will not only argue with you, but they will demonize what men find attractive. It's because they are taught by radical feminism and the resentment of Marxism to demonize masculinity. demonize the objective parameters which masculinity symbolizes and encapsulates, and they hate truth. Truth leads to what? Accountability, that which they can't stand.
Let's see here.
All right, so they bullied her into submission by sheer force of speaking the truth. It looks like it just continues. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.